I'm going to take just a few minutes to talk about working through pain. Um, my life started out super simple, super easy. It was almost like Little House on the Prairie, you know. Nothing ever hardly went wrong, which sounds, thank God, because it sounds super good. But my adult years have been so challenging. And, I got married really young. I was really, really young. Engaged at 17 in high school, married at 18 years old, had my first son by the time I was 19. 24, I'd had 3 kids already. It was good. It was normal. I was living in a small town. I was going to be a logger or a forester or a firefighter. I mean, I was living the dream, baby. No, I mean, I really was in my mind. I'm kind of a small town guy. I like simple, really simple, easy things. And my life had been easy up until this point. Most of you know the story of my divorce, and so I'm not going to get into all the details because, like, I've written a book on it and spoke so many times about it. But the truth is I ended up in a divorce. That's the fact. I ended up 27 years old. Was kind of the age that it started. 27 years old, and in hell. A lot of people go through different kinds of pain in their life, and I realized that. For me, this was the first time in my life where I felt completely powerless, completely out of my element. I didn't know what to do, even though I was a counselor. When it happens in your own home, it's a little bit different than it happening in somebody else's home, and you're not really affected by that the same way. But I ended up in a world of pain, and I've learned a couple things about pain having gone through something like my divorce. Now, I will say, because I'm probably not going to tell the whole story, but if we fast forward 10 years, my ex-wife and I have had a really great relationship for those 10 years. We've done a great job raising kids, and I'll do another video on that someday about co-parenting, and I think we've done a good job at walking the kids through the process of a divorce and working through pain. But for the sake of this story, I just want to talk about my process in actually working through this incredibly challenging time in my life. The day that I knew my marriage was over, hardest day in my life by far. And that was the day where I realized there's 2 roads. There's basically 2 roads in life that I have at this point. And both of them suck. Like, I can go medicate, go find another person right away and feel good for a little bit, but I'm going to be completely trashed. Or like, I can walk through all of this tough, challenging, crappy pain. And I realized that day, like, this is it. This is where, you take off the gloves and you face it. Avoiding pain is probably the worst thing that you could possibly do when you feel it. Pain has a voice. Pain says, fix me now. Do whatever you have to do to fix me. And that's why we're so prone to medicate. That's why we're so prone to ignore it. Because we want to stop. We want that relief. And the truth is that as soon as you start avoiding pain, all you're doing is pushing it down and making it worse. And I really had to take some time to figure out, like, if I'm going to face the pain, what do I do with it? How do I actually get through it? And I realized, like, every time I would face a painful memory, every time I would cry and process, every time I would take a step forward with courage, like actually going, I'm going to look at my story and I'm going to look at what actually happened. But every time I faced that, cried, shared my emotions, journaled, got the Lord's view on it, got somebody else's view on it, I realized, like, slowly but surely I wasn't having to process the same thing twice. And I want to encourage you guys, pain is a part of life. It really is. And it doesn't matter if you grew up in a really easy home, a really good home, a hard home. You have the ability and the responsibility, like you owe it to yourself, to stop avoiding what's going on in your life and to be powerful over it. And most of us feel really powerful, most of us feel really powerless when we look at our past or when we look at what's currently happening right now. And again, we run and we avoid it. But the truth is, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. There's really simple steps to working through pain. And I actually think it would be helpful. I know this sounds like a pitch, but I don't know how else to do it. You know, I did a video on working through pain that takes you through actual steps of working through pain. I've written a book, The Supernatural Power of Forgiveness. It's all about working through pain. And I want to encourage you guys, like, say yes to yourself today. Literally say yes to yourself. Look at your story, look at your life. If I could do it, literally you can do it. And I've walked thousands of people through the process of going from incredible amounts of pain to no pain at all. And I really do want to encourage you today, whatever your story is, even if you're not in a lot of pain, it's really good to learn, how do I walk somebody else out of pain? Because it's just a part of life. And if you're afraid of it, you'll avoid it. So you'll take easy roads in your life. So guys, take some time, actually look at your life. If you're avoiding something, let's go after it. Let's actually take some courage, maybe grab a friend with you and start to study and push forward and actually go, how do I take the first step today? What is the first step I need to do? We should not let pain, shame, guilt, fear control our life. They're great indicators that you need something. Go after it and get it today.